Hi guys, welcome back to Tara Makes Up. Today I have a super lovely, gorgeous lady in my studio. Her name is Frankie. We're going to do a look that's perfect for autumn using a really mix of kind of high-end and drugstore products or kind of high street products. And the look is a really lovely kind of plummy eye that's very wearable still. So I hope you guys enjoy the look. So I'm going to use the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki. And this is kind of like a pipette almost. So I'm just going to take this over Frankie's skin from the middle. And I've applied some of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic cream underneath as well, just to give a bit of extra moisture. But the look today, because it's more of a kind of autumnal feel look, I want the skin to have more of a satin finish. And this foundation is really, really good for that because it definitely gives more of a matte finish, but it has a natural feel, so it doesn't go cakey, and it's really nice the way it sits on the skin. So I'm just smoothing that in and buffing it in, and I really, really like the finish of this foundation actually. It's one of those ones that launched quite a while back, but I definitely keep coming back to this. So I'm just working from the centre of the skin outwards, just with the Flat Top Kabuki and just buffing it in. So as per usual guys, I'm going to go onto the eyes and then come back to concealer later, but I really love this skin. I think it's really nice for autumn winter. It's just the right amount of matte without looking dry on the skin. The next thing I'm going to use is this eye palette by H&M. I did a blog post recently on these, so I will link that below. How amazing is this palette? It's all like aubergines and gorgeous autumn tones. So we're going to use that I think on you, Frankie, which Frankie's got gorgeous like bluey green eyes, and this will really make the green pop. So the first colour I'm going to start with on Frankie is one of the more kind of matte mauvey tones, and I'm taking a MAC 217. So if you just close your eyes for me, Frankie. So I'm going to pop that over the lid first, and I've been really impressed with these eyeshadows actually. I think they have quite good colour payoff, and they blend really nicely as well. I'm just taking that kind of up to past the socket, and then I'm going to take the excess off on the back of my hand. And just go in again and just buff the edges. I'm going to take that through the crease and a little bit onto the lower lash line. So tap a little bit off on your brush. I'm using the same one. I'm taking a little bit off on the back of my brush. So if you look straight ahead for me, Frankie, and head up a little bit, that's it. And then just into the crease, I'm going to start taking that kind of cranberry colour through the socket and just start to build a little bit more definition into the eye. So just place it into the socket and then backwards and forwards, and just blend as you take it through. So for the next colour, I'm going to take this kind of more muted, kind of rusty brown red, and I'm going to take that along the bottom of the lash line. So if you look straight ahead and then just close to me, Frankie. So I'm just going to just lift the eye up slightly, and I'm just going to use this just to add a little bit of smokiness to the lash line. And then the other thing I'm just going to add to Frankie's underneath the eye, if you look up for me, Frankie, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of that the more matte mauve just to the outer part of the eye. Can you turn the other way for me? Just to give it a little bit more balance. And then I'm going to take one of these new pencils by Burberry. It's the Effortless Blendable Kohl. And this is just in the shade number 2, Chestnut Brown. So again, a lovely autumn shade. I'm such a huge fan of brown. So if you close for me, Frankie, I'm just going to do a couple of messy dots along the top lash line. And one of the things me and Frankie have been talking, guys, actually, we've been talking a lot this morning about body image, because you work as a model, don't you, Frankie?
Yep.
Yeah. And it was something that I've always wanted to talk with you guys on YouTube about, but I'm kind of interested to see if you, A, would like me to talk about it, and for example, Frankie, you were saying you'd be quite happy to talk about it as well, weren't you, Frankie?
It's something we're both quite interested in.
Yeah, and both quite passionate about, so I'd be really interested if that's something that you guys would like me to kind of delve into. You know, it's nice to have the perspective of someone who works in the industry as a model. And again, I work obviously as a makeup artist in industry, and I think it's something, there's a video link I'm going to put below, which is a TED Talk. I can't remember the name of the model. I'm going to put it on the screen.
Neither can I. We've both seen
Can't
it.
remember it, but we're going to put it on the screen somewhere here, so as we're talking it will magically appear. So yeah, I'll put the name of the person. It's really good, you should watch it. It's amazing, isn't it? It's really inspiring, and I think it says a lot about how we almost feel, and I think how we'd like to open the discussion about body image in general.
And how we perceive people in general.
Yeah, and like, let's talk about positive body image. So I'd love to know if that's something you guys are interested in, because we've definitely been chatting about that quite a bit this morning, haven't we, Frankie?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah, this video, guys, it's so amazing. It's a model and it's a TED Talk, and I think it really, really highlights a lot of body image issues, and again issues about appearance, etc. So that's something I'd really like to share with you, which I will link below, and let's get a discussion going. Like I said, I think we could have like a chatty informal video, and we'll bring back lovely Frankie and she can talk about that as well, and let me know what you guys think. I'd love to know your opinions as well on body image in general, and I think it's about moving forward. That's what me and Frankie were saying. It's how we kind of bring more emphasis on health as well, and I think
looking after yourself and
yeah. And women feeling good about themselves. I think, you know, let's empower each other, not bring each other down.
Definitely. Because there's lots of it at the moment.
Yeah.
There's lots of people trying to push that forward.
Yeah.
But I still think we're constrained by,
yeah,
you need to look like this.
Yeah, definitely.
As opposed to embracing what you've got.
So next thing I'm going to use on Frankie, guys, is the Tom Ford Ultra Length Mascara. This is a pricey mascara, but I really, really love this one. So I'm going to use this top and bottom lashes. So if you look up for me, Frankie. So I definitely want some on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to do concealer after this. So don't worry if there's any fall down. I'm just going to make sure I give a really good coat of this to the top lashes. And what you can always do, if you look down for me, Frankie, that's it. Just go right to the root. So I'm just using a MAC, this is like a fan brush. I really like this for just taking a bit of excess mascara. And if you look down for me, Frankie, it's a really good way just to paint the tips, so that on top of your lashes looks really black as well. Especially good if you have fairer hair, so you're more likely to have kind of fairer eyelashes. And that way you can just paint all the way to the tips. So for concealer, I'm going to use some of the Urban Decay The Naked Concealer. I've been loving this concealer at the minute. Although I don't have Frankie's exact shade, so I'm going to mix two together. I'm going to mix medium neutral and light warm together, just on the back of my hand. I'm just going to have a little bit of a tidy up under the eyes, which will really make this eye makeup pop as well. And I'm going to take a Real Technique setting brush and just look up for me, Frankie. So I'm just going to start on the inner part of the eye, and I'm going to pat that outwards a little bit as well. And then just any redness left, I can use that same concealer. Just add a little bit of brightness. So just using that to brighten under the eyes. A product I've been loving at the minute is the H&M The Powder, and this one is the Perfectionist Finishing Powder, and I'm going to use this on Frankie just a little bit to kind of set over the skin. So I'm just going to use a soft Art Shop brush, and I'm just going to use this a little bit down the centre of the skin. So because this foundation has more of a kind of matte finish, you won't need too much powder anyway, so I'm just using it really sheerly. Look up for me. A little bit under the eyes, and I do find actually this powder is very, very sheer in texture, so it has a really, really nice finish. And just a little bit on the cheeks, if I turn you that way for me, Frankie, just where I'm going to add a little bit of blush. For blusher, I actually want to go with a bit of an old school favourite. This is one of the Bourjois little round pot blushes, and I'm using the shade Rose Brune, which is 48, which again I think is a really nice shade for autumn. So I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown, this is the large powder brush, because I want to kind of make a soft blush with this. So if you just look straight ahead for me, darling, I'm going to start on the middle, and I'm just going to kind of feather it out, because I want this to look super natural, but a little bit like a rosy glow, like you've been running outside. So I'm just building it up on the inner part of the cheek, and I'm just kind of brushing it out to nothing. So I don't want it to be too super blush, but at the same time, just that little bit of subtle definition. And using a big brush is better for that if you want it to look a bit more natural. So for lips, I'm going to take Clarins. This is the Joli Rouge and the 747 Rosy Nude, which is just a really nice pretty pink. So I'm just going to start applying that from the bullets. I had put a little bit of lip balm on Frankie as well before she arrived. So I'm just going to use a lip brush just to tidy that up. But I think keeping it soft and pink actually is still nice, because it stops it kind of going into a really, really dark autumny look. And they're nice and moisturising, these as well, guys. So again, they're good to kind of apply without a mirror, or if you kind of want to apply it quickly.
Yeah, no, they are these Clarins ones actually.
I'm just going to get a little bit in the inner corners and turn it away for me, Frankie. And I'm just going to keep the lip line quite natural. You can add a little bit of a nude lip pencil if you wanted to. So that's the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you at me and at Harry Makes It Up if anyone's trying the looks. Please like and subscribe. Subscribing is free, and you'll always see the videos first if you subscribe. Let me know in the comments as well how you guys feel about seeing kind of a body image video. I'd be really interested to know if you guys would be interested in that. And thank you, Frankie.
No problem.
The loveliest day. And I'll see you soon for more videos, guys. Thanks very much. Bye.